What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? It's your boy Micah B here with a very special edition of the Black Gay Agenda. I'm here with some members of the cast of Gay Soul Food, as well as the brain, the mastermind. There we go, behind Gay Soul Food. Real quick, we're gonna go around, let the people know who you are, and we're gonna get right into the conversation. Starting with you, Anthony.
All right, so I am Anthony Green from Memphis. I am the writer and director of Gay Soul Food and the executive director of Cage Birds Productions.
Awesome.
Gina, ladies first.
I'm Gina Nicole Brown, and I play Gigi in Gay Soul Food.
Okay, Gigi.
My name is Antoine Pollard, and I play the character Terrion in Gay Soul Food.
All right, so what we're going to do right now, we're going to get right into it. What I like to do is do a couple of icebreakers just so my audience can get to know y'all just a little bit better since y'all are, guests at this dinner table. You see what I did there? So we are going to go ahead and we're going to build the perfect cookout plate, okay? We're going to build the perfect cookout plate. But listen, you only get one meat. You only get one meat, two sides, one dessert, and one drink. Okay? You get one meat, two sides, one dessert, and one drink. Who wants to start off?
As the one that loves cookouts, I've even looking for one since I've been in Atlanta this weekend. For me, my meat would be a nice burnt hot dog. The sides would be baked beans and macaroni and tuna, and then my dessert would be peach cobbler, and then the drink would be an orange crush.
Okay, love orange crush. You said macaroni and tuna?
Yeah, tuna salad.
Okay. I
Baked beans and the burnt hot dog. That's the perfect plate for me.
Okay. Who's next? I like that.
You want to go, Gina?
No, you go.
So let me see. So being from Memphis, I love barbecue. So I would say my meat would be a pork butt. Love to eat a good butt. I would like a barbecue butt with macaroni and cheese, collard greens. My dessert would be a red velvet cake, and drink a margarita. Yes.
Come on, margarita. I love a good butt too, but not a pork one. Who's next?
I'll go. Yeah, and no butts for me.
No butts for you. Okay, respect.
No,
We'll have all of hers.
I sometimes a little fish, but no butts.
Okay.
But for today, I like a little barbecue pulled chicken.
Yes.
And my sides, I think I get two sides, right? So collard greens, and probably macaroni and cheese, because you should know that I won the BuzzFeed macaroni and cheese fried chicken contest. So there's nobody's macaroni and cheese that's better than mine. So probably that. And key lime pie is my dessert. Let's see. For my drink, I'd like a mule.
Okay. Vodka, tequila.
Vodka.
Okay, vodka mule. Okay. Listen, for our audience, let us know in the comments section, what is your perfect plate, okay? What is your perfect plate? I'll do mine just because I'm here. I'm going to do some grilled baked salmon. I only eat chicken and fish. I eat beef every once in a while, but chicken and fish. So I'm going to do grilled salmon. I'm going to do, we can go with some greens. I love some greens. Turkey meat in the greens, please. Turkey meat me. I need another side. So we have greens, something a little heavier. I'll probably go with maybe a macaroni and cheese, but it depends on who does the macaroni and cheese, because obviously you can't eat everybody's macaroni and cheese. But you know what? I'm going to try yours since you said that you won it. All right. BuzzFeed, shout out to them. Dessert is going to be sweet potato pie. Can't go wrong with sweet potato pie. I want mine cold, though. Okay. No hot sweet potato pie for me. And last but certainly not least, my drink is going to be a frozen peach Douce lemonade, all right? A frozen piece Douce lemonade. I got my little ninja that I bought for my birthday, and I haven't broke it out yet, so I might do that after this conversation, okay? All right, one final Mount Rushmore. As we know, y'all are in the upcoming stage play. Well, it's already happened already, but you're in the stage play right now, Gay Soul Food. As we know, soul food is a classic in the Black community. So I want to know, we do one thing on our podcast called Mount Rushmore, right? Black Mount Rushmore, to be specific. So I want to know, you only get four. What is the Mount Rushmore of Black family films? And you can say things like a soul food. You can say things like a best man, even though those it's arguable if those are family films, but you get what I'm saying. The Wood, This Christmas, anything that you want. What is on your Mount Rushmore for Black family films?
Oh, you messed me up when you said family. Like if it was just movies, I was ready. When you said family, okay. I'm gonna start then. I'm gonna say Soul Food number one. Number two would be This Christmas.
Yes.
And number three would be The Color Purple.
Okay.
And then,
the musical or the original?
The original.
Okay.
And then number four would be The Lion King. Fight Me. That's a black family movie. The
Lion King is a Black movie, down hands down. So yeah, no fighting here. No fighting here. All right, who's that? Who's next?
I'll try.
Yeah, like if you threw family in there, and it's just like, oh, gosh.
Now, family don't have to be. You don't have to think about kids. You can think about if it's a family gathering. Y'all watching the movie. Like we watch Soul Food on Thanksgiving.
Okay, so speaking to the last question, first one will be Cookout with Jennifer Lewis, Queen Latifah.
Oh my God!
His family.
Yes.
There's a lot going on in that family.
A lot.
So you got Cookout, Almost Christmas. Isn't that the one with Monique, Danny Glover?
Yeah.
I'm getting stumped here. I don't know. Family, in another sense. I guess Soul Food definitely is up there as well.
Yes.
And then one more. Medea's Family Reunion, the play, the movie.
Jesus. The way I used to have to watch the VHSs growing up, and like that, oh my God. Every 5 minutes, song.
Okay. Forget the family part because I'm not really sure. Set It Off. That might not. I would like that for a family movie.
Okay.
Probably for this particular family in Gay Soul Food. Drumline, I really like. Let's see. Okay, don't hate me. I'm completely blanking on the name. Denzel Washington was in it, and it was the blues, and it was down in Louisiana.
Mo Better Blues.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you know, my memory, I'm a little older. And maybe Coach Carter. I think that was another Denzel one.
Okay, Samuel L. Jackson. That works.
Okay.
That works. Okay, you said after family. All right, here we go. All right, we're gonna get into the main conversation for today. Okay, a couple of y'all did bring up the original. Y'all brought up Soul Food, which is a classic in my books. One of my favorite films ever. Probably had no business watching it when I was younger, but hey, who we're grown now. The original Soul Food wasn't really about food. It was about what happens when a family finally sits down together. What is Gay Soul Food really about underneath everything else? So after, we hear the name Gay Soul Food, there's probably a lot of people who are going to be like, oh, this is just a gay version of Soul Food. Tell me, what is Gay Soul Food really about?
Oh, okay. I think that question taps into why at Cage Birds we do these homages to old Black cinema. like the first time we did one of these plays, we did Waiting to Exhale,
Mhm.
and that story was birthed out of a friend of mine was in the process of passing away from complications to HIV. And
Mm.
in our like final conversation, he wanted me to like write the story of his life. And I did that through the lens of his like favorite movie, which was Waiting to Exhale. So I wrote something that would like delight him and that he would enjoy, and so that he would never be forgotten. And once we started doing that show, it's been a hit. We've been in DC, Nashville, Atlanta, Houston, Chicago. And when doing the next show, I wanted to, the way I honored my friend, I wanted to honor my family. And doing that through the tropes of the characters that we see in soul food. I feel like a lot of these like Black movies, there isn't that strong LGBT perspective or representation. So I just want to like weave us into the tapestry, because I feel like biological family is different for us, like how we experience it, how we find our place, how we engage. And I wanted to create a testament to that story.
Mm. I like that. I like that. Anybody else before we keep moving on?
What I would say, because with working with Cage Birds Productions, I've been in a few of their different productions in, over the last few years. And one thing with gay soul food, it definitely does tap into that family aspect, showing you the ins and outs of what actually families are going through, but just with a twist, because it's, you know, the family's gay. Not the entire family, but there are a lot of gay members in the family, and it just, again, it just shows the everyday life and what the families deal with, the battles through journeys, trauma from years prior, and you know, so much more. I can't give too much away, but
Yeah, you don't want to give too much. Don't give us too much sauce. Okay, so the original film, it gave us some of the most iconic Black families in cinema, right? We all know the sayings. We know, you know, about Cousin Faith. We know about Terry's crazy ass, which she wasn't really crazy. We know about, you know, Mama Joe. We know about all of these people, right? Um, what makes this family uniquely Black and uniquely queer?
Um, I'll jump in and let y'all elaborate. So while this isn't like an exact retelling of Soul Food, we do have characters that kind of like pay homage to the movie, right? Where we don't have our own version of Maxine Terry. You see like shades of them in different characters and different like moments. I feel like what makes these characters so inherently Black is they are all homages to different like tropes of Black characters that you will see in the family, whether it be, oh no, I'm trying not to give too much, but you know that sassy, drama loving gay brother, or the bratty younger sister. Oh, that's all I can say. But yeah, you will definitely not only see your family in this play, but you're also going to see like shades of yourself. And I feel that's the beauty of it. And that's what I'm excited for people to see, their Black gay lives affirmed on stage.
Mm. Okay, I like that. Anybody want to expound, or we gonna move through? We gonna press on.
I think I would just like to add that I think, yeah, you see yourself, you see your cousins, you see reflection of you, and it's not even just Black. I mean, not even just gay, but it's very Black from a cultural experience, not just with the food, but the expressions, the way we tease each other, and it's very unique from a historical perspective. And I think the other big thing is that even when we press each other culturally, it often is coming from some depth of love. And I believe when you see it, you'll see that comes through, despite the words that are often coming out of our mouths.
Mm. Okay. Did you have anything? I know you.
Well, what it does is it shows the journey of what the families go through, not just in present day, but the story tells what the gay thoughts or the gay pieces of the family and how it has affected the relationships throughout the years of their journey. With gay soul food, it allows the one thing that I think I spoke with Anthony about and just sit back and looking at the script is by the time the show is over, you understand a bit of forgiveness more when it comes to family. Throughout all the trauma, throughout all the hurt and the hate that is being spewed amongst the family members, at some point there comes a consensus to where, everybody isn't bickering or there isn't the issues that have been sitting and surfacing every time people would get together. Like in your family, you may be with somebody at the cookout. Oh, Keisha better not come over here and say nothing to me because I'm gonna go off. But that's because there's been past traumas that people don't sit and talk through and get through and work out. But you get to see a bit of that in Gay Soul Food.
You talked about forgiveness. Me and a good friend of mine were having this conversation the other day when it comes to family. I want to know what y'all's thoughts are. The intersection of forgiveness and the intersection between forgiveness and attendance, right? Does forgiveness mean that you have to attend the family functions?
I'll jump in. For me, it does not. Forgiveness is, and it's something that I've been battling with over the last year or two, just with people. My mother recently passed last year, and in the space that I was trying to deal with grief a bit differently was to keep peace around me. And by any means, anything that disturbed that, whether it was a person, a piece of tray, or even something that I was doing that disturbed my peace, it was getting removed. In that, with certain people that I've removed out of my life, forgiveness had to come about because anytime somebody would bring this person's name up, it was always me about to spew hate about why I'm not talking to them. But once I had got to a space of forgiveness, I can tell that story differently. However, I don't got to be around you.
Yes.
I wish you well. I wish you nothing but the best. But at the same time, I can't be in your space or you can't be in this chapter of my life because you're going to activate some things within me that I've been working on. So yeah, I can forgive you, but I ain't got to be around you.
That's real. That's real. Anybody else?
I think theoretically, you can forgive and also sort of, not be present for somebody. I think I'll say personally, it's a little harder for me because I am a cutter. And so I will simply just cut you out of my life. And I feel nothing. Like I don't have to hate you. I don't have to anything. And I can still acknowledge your presence as a human that breathes, but I just move on. If you don't serve a purpose anymore, I just move on. So I do think that what Antoine said is healthier, but I have to be honest, it's just not what I do. I can cut you and just walk away and I'm completely fine.
So you got some Terry in you. You pull out that knife and you cut him.
Tear you up. I just keep walking. I feel nothing. I'm empty.
Jesus, don't upset. Okay. Okay. Anything else from you, Anthony, or I'm just gonna move on to this next question.
I will add that I think when it comes to me and family, boundaries have been the key. Being really strong about how much I'm willing to give, how much I'm willing to take, because I love my family. I have a large family that is like based out of Chicago, and all of my family members are little pieces of my heart that exist outside of my body. But I know I have a very small battery.
Yes.
So I have to make sure I'm like giving little pieces where I can. But it's that give and take and establishing very strong boundaries.
Boundaries. That's something that we talk about here on the Black Gay Agenda all the time is boundaries. So I feel everything that you all said. All right. Speaking of pieces, right? This is to the cast. without giving too much away, so just give a little bit of a little pieces, okay, just a little pieces. What part of your character challenged you the most, and was there anything with your character that felt a little bit too familiar?
Go ahead, Gina.
Okay, well, sure. The part of my character that felt a little too familiar is my ability to just, at least on the surface, appear super cold. I mean,
Mm,
I legit have a warm heart. I give you a lot of chances. That's why I can end up cutting you, because I already gave you enough chances. You should have learned. But so that's the part that's so familiar, is that the appearance of that sort of coldness. The challenge for me is, because I am, like, I start out warmer generally. When my character is called to not be as warm a mother or grandmother as I'd like to be, it can be challenging for me.
mm. Okay.
And for me, okay, so I'll start with the similarities between Antoine and the character Terrion. Antoine loves his family. Terrion loves his family. Every family has things that they go through, and one thing with me is I'm a natural giver. Like I give, and not look for anything in return. And always want to ensure that my family is well and have everything that they need. They call me, I stop what I'm doing most of the time and come running. I'm the family member that you can call at 3 in the morning and say, "Hey, I need to go to the hospital," and I'll show up. And then with Terrion does the things to look out for his mother, for his sister, just giving back to the family, while and also understanding that there is trauma that runs deeper. As an actor, one thing that challenged me with this production is there's something that happens to Terrion earlier in his life that comes out in the show. And because I personally haven't experienced exactly what happened, but have friends that may have walked that journey in their life, I'm able to have empathy and tell or pull that emotion from what they've told me has happened to them in order to be able to portray what Anthony is looking for that moment.
Mm. Ooh, I love that. Okay, so Anthony, this next question is actually going to be for you. Okay. Um, One thing I appreciate is that this isn't like most of the times when we see our stories is always a coming out story, right? Always a coming out story. This isn't necessarily a coming out story. A lot of these characters already exist in their truth. Why was it so important for you to tell a story that these characters were already existing and living in their truth?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like Black gay narratives have like evolved past the coming out story, right? Because I mean, we've already seen the person come out, the Black family all hates it, then by the end, they're okay with it. They tolerate your gay self. But I wanted to reflect my life and then the lives of like my community, right? We're a couple of chapters further into that story, of what happens when you have, your biological family is okay with you being gay, but part of your gay expression varies from what they see manhood should be, or even looking into like your relationship with other gay family members. Now there's more than one of us in a family, right? What does that look like? I'm always trying to push the needle like forward in what our stories look like, complicate things. I am writing stories about like gay thruples and things. I'm writing
Mm.
stories about like trans lesbian relationships. Like I'm trying to I want to write the gay story that we don't see.
Black families, we have our traditions, whether that's traditions over food, traditions over holidays, whatever it may be. Um, Black queer people, we often have to create new traditions. And we'll get into chosen family and that stuff a little bit later in this conversation. But what what do you think? What are some traditions? Okay, there we go. What are some traditions that you hope that our community, and when I say our community, I mean Black queer community. What are some traditions that you hope that we never lose, or some traditions that you hope that we start to really adopt and embrace?
I think that the main tradition for me would be to not lose is that family dynamic and fellowship, especially around the holidays. While there is a lot of trauma that people are unable to get through or even have the tough conversations, I think fellowship is something that definitely is always important, because this day and age, you never know when someone is no longer going to be here.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like when the holidays come around, I'm at the family. I'm a house hopper during the holidays, so that's my tradition, a house hop.
Okay, get you a plate here and there.
Because I gotta get around and share my love with the different families that I have with me. You know, I have a big family on my mom's side, and then my dad's side. That's where I mainly start off my Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, but then I bounce. You know, I got other family, I got friends, and those chosen ones as well. So I think definitely keeping that dynamic and also incorporating fellowship.
Okay.
Um,
You be outside too? Do you be outside at all on the? Because I know people go outside like after the dinner is over.
Of
Okay,
course. I'm in the clubs though, not the athletes. I'm in the clubs.
that's what I'm talking about out at the clubs. Where
Yeah,
you
yeah,
at?
yeah.
You're in Atlanta. You're
No,
from
no,
Atlanta.
I'm in Atlanta this weekend, but
Oh, okay, so
I say yeah, I'm in the DMV area. Yes.
okay, because you know the Atlanta girlies be at Bulldogs Thursday night
Yeah, I went to
after.
the mall last night, but I was like, I didn't want to go to Bulldogs. Like nothing, no shade to Bulldogs. I wanted something different. Like my
I
last
feel it.
night, so I'm gonna find out where I'm gonna go. So yeah.
Okay. Any other traditions that you want us as a community to continue to hold on to, or maybe traditions that you feel like we should adopt?
I would say like the house gatherings. I love inviting community into my home, especially being
Mhm.
like a transplant here in DC. Like when I was in Memphis, we would have people over. I'd make drinks, we'd cook and we just kiki. I love to implement that here, even with like rehearsals. Like for rehearsals for this play, we have them in my home. Those are my little community moments where we break bread. I always got a different drink ready for us before rehearsal, and we just get in and work and relate as a community, as a cast, as a family. And I think that camaraderie shows up on stage as we deliver the story.
I just felt like the community members have spoken.
Okay, period. Listen,
That-
we don't have to beat a dead horse, okay?
okay. Okay.
All right, we are going to get to, and I'm so glad that you talked about, transplants and like these house gatherings. As we know, not everybody's family accepts them for who they are, right? There's a lot of people who can't go home for the holidays, or they can go home for the holidays, but when in they're going home, they're met with judgment. They're met with, oh, we still praying that you come up out of that lifestyle. They're met with just being put in an uncomfortable environment and an uncomfortable situation. So a lot of people in the community, we've had to kind of embrace chosen family. Let's talk about chosen family a little bit. What is the importance of chosen family? And do you think sometimes your chosen family can be better than your blood family?
I feel
Okay.
that with chosen families, it can, depending on the family in which you may come from. Every family is everyone of the LGBT plus experience doesn't have that. I'm trying to pray the gay off of you. I'm trying to pray you out of this. You have some
Hmm.
families that are accepting. They want you in their life. They want to pour into you and uplift you and protect you. While you have some other families that deal with stigma, trauma, and things that make it hard for those of the lifestyle. So that's where the chosen families come into play. And at times, I think that depending on the family, the chosen family that you are choosing to be around you, to be in your life, to be there to encourage you and support you, may be better than your actual family. I think at times we have to understand within our families, there are things that people deal with that we don't know about, that has happened to them that they don't ever speak on. And that creates these characteristics and how they go about dealing with people on a day-to-day basis in general, not even in your family. So when it comes into the family, it's easier for them to handle you a certain way because that's little Johnny. He all right. He do this. He over there messing with boys anyway, and he's confused. While the chosen family, oh my God, Johnny, how have you been? I miss you. What you got going on? How can I support you? So I definitely think that you find the people that you find the people that uplift you rather than be around those that you every time you're around them you have this negative energy on you to where you're itching to get away from them.
I like that you pointed that out too, because just also we have to keep in mind sometimes your gay family might not be the best for you either. Because they can have the same, backbiting and drama and all that other stuff. So yes, I'm glad that you did point out that not everyone has to go to a chosen family. Yeah. But I do believe everybody should have a chosen family, because even if your family's good, there's just a different way that I'm going to connect with. Let's say my family dynamic with my blood relatives is really good, but there's still a different connection when I'm with other Black queer folks. You get what I'm saying? There's certain things, conversations that we have that are different, and experiences that we have that are different. So I think both are equally as important if that's your situation. Yeah. Anybody else thoughts on? Oh, you had something else.
A little bit more. And I just think that just that one piece of, like, for me, I am someone who has gone through the let's pray the gay away from you, or you should be doing this, or this is the things that I get for raising you journey, right? But once I got to my adult years, once I began saying F those negative feelings and thoughts, and I could show up authentically as myself, now I have families that are not the gay families or not gay experience that have welcomed me in because I'm authentically myself. I show up who I am in every space. I'm not altering my personality to make somebody comfortable in the space. I've gone through too much to be sitting here trying to turn super hyper masculine because I'm around a bunch of hood fellas. No, I'm going to still show up as Antoine, and after a while, the hood fellas going to be pouring me drinks because they like me. Okay. And they may slide me a number afterwards, but
okay.
But nonetheless, at the end of the day, I think that also goes into that being able to be authentically yourself. A lot of people can't do that, and even whether it's a chosen family, like you said, the gay family may not always be the best option for you either. But once an individual finds their circle and the people that love on them, they should be in good hands. That's all I can. That's my last piece, and I move on.
No, that was good. I'm glad that you gave us a little bit more. Anybody else? Chosen family? Thoughts on chosen family?
I always say that my biological family are like my roots, right? Who I am at my core, but like my chosen family are the people that like I choose to live life with and grow with and have these experiences with. And then I guess bringing it back to like the actual play, I always say that a Cage Birds production is like a family reunion of like Black LGBT folks that you've never met. Even this show is like set up like a family reunion. Before the play actually starts, we play family reunion cookout mixes to get us in the, let's we our family vibe. It is a nice intergenerational mix. Like I love doing these old movie tributes and then seeing our older audiences interacting with young people in their early 20s who have never seen these shows a day in their lives is a beautiful experience.
Okay. What's your favorite cookout song before we move on?
My favorite cookout song is Before I Let Go.
Yeah.
Beyonce or Frankie Beverly?
You know what? I love it when you mix them both. When you when one and then go into the other.
Okay. That's the right answer, right? That's the right answer right there.
Frankie Beverly would have been the most right answer, but sure.
I think it depends on,
generations.
Yes, for sure. It definitely depends on generations. All right. So speaking of generations, right? do you think, and is this something that might be into play as well? I know sometimes generationally we communicate differently, right? Sometimes the way a Gen Xer communicates is different than a millennial. Sometimes the way a millennial communicates is different than a Gen Zer. How does that? How is that represented in this play, if at all?
I'll start with this. So, I will say it is in the references. Cage Bird shows are known for like referencing culture, right? We as Black LGBT folks love culture, and we go from references as old as Good Times and Different Strokes, all the way up to a viral videos of a couple of months ago with Billy Porter and the fuck her, it is trying to find these moments that like culturally connects all of us into the conversation.
Okay. Do you think on a deeper level, right now on a deeper level, do you think in the Black community, in our Black familial relationships and whatnot, do you think there is a disconnect in communication between us, and do you think that's why some of the times we do come to the table with all of the drama and the issues because we don't know how to talk to each other and actually understand each other while we're talking to each other?
Yeah, for sure. That's communication. I think that generationally, and I don't know that there's nothing wrong with it. You just need to build a bridge. And it just depends on sort of how you're raised. I'm a Gen Xer raising Gen Zs. So I have to have a bridge so that they understand me and I understand them. And that would just be the same across, I think all kinds of families. There's just going to be, as Anthony spoke about the cultural references that we have in the play, there's always going to be something that I was raised with that, a newer generation wasn't, just because of the sign of the times. But I think that's just a matter of communication.
Okay.
And can I add, this reminds me of one of my favorite lines in the play is that you can't raise your children for the world in which you grew up in, because then you're preparing them for a world that doesn't exist anymore.
My God, today. Well, listen, y'all, we're recording this on a Sunday. All right. And in church, they say that again. Can you say that one more time for the people in the back who might not have been listening or who was dozing off or was playing on their phone?
You can't raise your children for the world that you grew up in, because then you're preparing them for a world that does not exist anymore.
That's real. That's so good. Thank you for that nugget.
It's a lot of nuggets in gay soul food.
Okay, I'm seeing. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Okay, so speaking of nuggets, real quick, because we tapping into food all day, right? Catfish fillets or catfish nuggets?
Nuggets for me. I like a nugget. I
love a
nugget. I want to dip it in some sauce.
Okay. Okay.
No catfish.
No catfish at all.
No, I don't like it.
Why? Because it's bottom of the barrel?
No, I mean that doesn't help. It's but it's just I don't like the taste. But also knowing it's dirty doesn't help.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm gonna change the game because I think my choice is gonna be catfish steaks. I love a catfish steak.
Oh, you got money, so
that Cage Bird coin runs along.
Okay, I'm over here in the section asking for a pound of nuggets. You over here asking for the catfish steaks. I know that's right. Okay, so we're gonna move on. All right, we were just talking about conversations. Okay, in the original Soul Food, we saw there was a lot of conversations that just weren't had. A lot of people holding on to things that had they had the conversation sooner, it would have been different. What's some conversations in our community that you think that we still are having that we really do need to have?
That's a good question.
I'll be in my bag a little bit with the questions, y'all. I'll be in my bag a little bit.
I don't want to go first, though. But
Okay.
that's a good question. Well, bump it. I'll go first. I think two main things I think that need to have the tough conversations are with the piece around HIV. I know because I work in public health and I've been doing it for about 9 years now, separate from acting. And one thing that is still in the air anytime you go around certain, community groups, certain neighborhoods or whatever, is this piece around HIV where the stigma is still there and the lack of education is being presented. It's so many uneducated people when it comes to HIV and
Yes.
AIDS. They people are just not even saying HIV; they go straight to AIDS, and then it's as if they just have this energy or this preconceived thought based off of what they were raised by and what they were hearing as children. So now that they're in their adult years, it's an ongoing thing. On top of, you don't have the heterosexual communities getting tested the way that they should. You have the heterosexual presenting males, and I just had this conversation with someone at a conference a couple weeks ago, where the common denominator in the thing when it comes to male and versus gays, I'm sorry, the females versus gay males is the DL male. The DL male can come get their issue off with the gay man and then run back home to the girl, and then they do their thing. And as long as the girl isn't symptomatic or anything, or she doesn't suspect no infidelity, she's being the one that is being put into harm's way, separate from the gay male. But again, it's the DL brother going back and forth across the spectrum. And now there's this thing where the middleman's not getting tested because no one is saying to him that, hey, you need to go get tested, and then now you're just exposing everybody. So it's one big conversation that needs to happen across the thing when it comes to this piece on testing status, and even just a general acceptance. A lot of the times I feel as if that the reason why the DL men are still DL is because of the acceptance that they do not receive from their friends, their family, let alone even the women. It's so many women that say, "Oh, I want the brother to tell me up front so I can make the decision." Well, if he tell you, you're going to automatically say no. So they're not going to come out to tell you. It's not that they don't like women anymore. They may have been incarcerated for for a period of time to where they had that horny itch and needed to get it off, and the quickest thing to get it off was a male. And now they're outside, and that experience has allowed them to now double dutch whenever it comes to them being horny and needed to get the issue off. So it's a lot of things that need to be touched on, I feel.
So I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna bring up 2 points. One put not a pushback, but a follow up. But before I do the follow up, I do want to say that I'm glad that you brought that up. And I think how we have the conversations around HIV and AIDS and all of those things matter. And I want to speak to those of y'all who I see on on Twitter and all of that, who, you post your little go get tested, right? Go get tested, go to get tested. But then when you're talking about it's HIV negative, right? It's not I'm clean, because the opposite of clean is dirty.
Right.
And that feeds
Right.
into that stigma when y'all are like, oh, I'm clean, I'm clean, I'm clean. And then that kind of puts a dark cloud negativity on that person who might be HIV positive. Also, the way that some of y'all talk about people with HIV who have HIV, it's one, disgusting, and two, there's people in your friend group.
Hello.
There's people in your house, your ballroom house. There's people you work with. There's people in your family who are HIV positive, and you don't know that because you're not fostering an environment that they can be open, honest, transparent about what they got going on. So just keep that in mind when y'all are, keen on, doing health reads or even commenting on other people's health reads. I know it's easy to like get caught up in the drama between this now that's TV star and that bad boy star and all of that, and y'all get into the exposing and y'all in the comments. Guess what? Your friends can see the comments. Your friends can see what you like as well. Instagram definitely tells you what your friends are
Yeah,
liking.
and I feel like health reads are just tired.
They
Like
are.
to me, that's one of the lowest things that a person can do is read somebody because of their health situation. Everybody doesn't put themselves in situations where they causes the higher chances of these things happening. So for that to be your go-to to try to down somebody, to say, oh girl, you dirty, oh girl, you got HIV or this and that, like, no, because the thing about it is a lot of the people who are not living with HIV, everyone is HIV possible. Meaning, when I say that is like, you can live a life to where you are just dealing with one person. However, you don't know if that person will go step out and just off that one encounter, they contract it and bring it back to you.
Okay, no, and that's real. All right, and then the second thing that I want to bring up, and I'm glad that we have a woman to be a part of the conversation, because I've said it in the past and then I got a lot of pushback, and like they ate my ass up on Twitter for it. And I said that I feel like we'd have less DL men if more women were more accepting of bisexual men and just gay men in general. And then everybody's like, oh, you're putting it on a woman for a man to be honest and all of that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I probably have a sort of a unique perspective just because I am bi. So did somebody say really? I can't see your faces because you.
That was me, really?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Sorry, continue. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry. I guess it's just because my partner currently is a man. But like, yeah, I mean, I have had girlfriends in the past and whatnot. So yes, it's a little bit different. I've always been open, and as somebody who used to do stand up, I had a whole piece about the bi experience, and I do wish that people would be more open about it. I was open about it. I mean, I didn't have a t-shirt or anything. I just, when I was either out walking with my girlfriend or I was doing whatever, I kind of just, at a certain point, you just live your life. And I also just think that that's just part of who I was. But yeah, so I agree with you. I think that, well, I agree with you, and I also understand, I should say, that some people would say, don't put it on the woman. Don't put everything on us. But I think across the board, if there was more understanding of people who have the ability to be attracted to both genders, assuming there's just two, which there aren't, but I'm just saying, if I don't think we have those conversations. Earlier, you'd asked something about what are the conversations that we don't have. Bi people don't fit appropriately in any category. So, as a woman who is bi, the lesbians were a little bit afraid, after a while to touch me because they often thought I was going to run off with a man, and the men were like, wait a minute, what? First they were like, ooh, this will be fun. But then when they thought, no, you only date one, well, then you might leave me and go with a girlfriend, to a woman, which is so silly because I might leave you for another man too.
So that's wow. So I am so glad that sometimes, and I'll admit it, like I'm in community with other members of the community, but like I'm not as deep in, I don't have as many, lesbian friends or as many trans friends. So sometimes having these conversations, and that's why it's important to have these conversations. Yeah. I learned stuff, and I didn't know that's something that you all deal with as well, because I hear a lot of times one of the reasons why a lot of women say they don't want to deal with the bisexual man is because, he can't choose, or he's going to get bored with me, or I can't satisfy him like the man will satisfy him. Eat the cake and have his cake and eat it too, all of that. So it's interesting that you deal with that as well.
Oh yeah, we do. But I've never understood that, because I'll leave you for anybody.
Correct.
Like, so you don't need to be worried about whether I'm going to leave you for male or female. You just need to
worry about your
that if you don't,
because you're a cutter, okay?
I will leave. Because remember, we talked about me cutting.
Yes,
I will cut you. So yeah. Anyway, but I will say, it makes it seem like there's no place to go for home. There's no home base. So you end up leaning this way or leaning this way, and so people are like, yeah, she says that, but she really likes this. Well, you've made it so I don't feel at home anywhere. So now I'm kind of just I have to pick a soft landing wherever I'm received.
Wow, that's real. And we see it too. Gay men always like, oh, I don't want no bisexual man because of whatever, whatever. And then this gay man that you're dating with, he's also dating 5 other people behind your back or in front of your face. So
yeah, and I mean, I would also just say that having had just purely straight men, they often want to do things that gay men do anyway. So I don't really know
butt stuff.
So
it's like she didn't want to say it. She didn't want to say it.
She didn't want to say it, and I had to say it.
Tender, it's Sunday, but I just so I'm like, you say you're not gay, but how you know? You turn off the light that my cheeks aren't somebody else's cheek, you know?
My God, on today. Do you think, and since we're here talking about conversations, do you think a lot of the things that when it comes to sexuality and fluidity and all of those things, do you think part of the problem is when we were growing up, for a lot of us, we didn't have those type of conversations. And all it was, well, I don't know how y'all live, so I can only speak about me. In my household, being a PK, the only conversation that had to do with sex was don't do it.
Right.
And I think people are stunted sexually for a lot of times. They don't know, and it's grown as adults who don't know what they like sexually or what they want sexually. And then we're all shaped by what society says, what religion has said, what tradition has said. Do you think that has something to do with why we have so many people not really knowing how to navigate the sexuality?
I say yeah, because I think, and I preach this a lot. I think they need to put sex ed back into schools. And the reason being because, like, for me, for example, I didn't have my first HIV test until I was 22. And I know what I had been doing from the age of 16 until 22. And I think that should be talked about because it's a lot that you talk about one piece of the sex thing. Don't do it, don't do this, don't do that. But then if somebody, let's just say, for instance, in high school presents as gay or a little bit more soft or even feminine, then that's that other piece I think that needs to be talked about. So where just because I'm gay or like men doesn't automatically mean I'm going to like you. Mm-hmm. So when you're in the spaces, let's say at a family cookout and you got that one person that, oh, I don't like gays, I don't like this, he needs to move. Baby, you ain't even my type no way. So you can chill out, Papa. Like it's all of those, it's that. And then it's like I said, in just this sex piece, everybody has different pleasures. What I like, you might not necessarily like, right? And vice versa. And it's okay for that to be. We all are different people. We all have different walks. We all go through different things. And I think that just when people get to a space of just being able to show up authentically, a lot of that stuff that we did on a day-to-day basis, whether you're accepted for it or not, it should be able to just roll off your back because you know who you are. You know what you want out of your life. And if somebody doesn't accept it or even understand or take time to understand what you're about or what you've gone through, then why waste the time even entertaining it?
I mean, there's something beautiful about authenticity. That word used to have me in a chokehold, but I finally was able to say it all together. What is important? Okay, so getting back to gay soul food, because one thing that I've learned is when you show up authentically, other people can see themselves in you, right? Other people, and then people are inspired, they're encouraged by what they see in you. What do you think the audience, right, the people who are going to attend this play, what do you think they're going to see in themselves the most by watching this play?
I'll jump in, and I'm also going to hit some of them past points in last place. So one, if you really want to see bisexual representation, you're going to love gay soul food.
Okay.
And then Also, one conversation I feel like we need to have is we need to support our trans community. Black trans women are dying. Our government is specifically going after trans people.
Yes.
There are so many people in our Black community as well as in our gay community who share some not so kind thoughts about trans people already. So we got to make sure that we are combating that, because Black liberation does not happen without trans liberation.
Come on.
In terms of showing up authentically, what I hope this show accomplishes is encouraging people to be more themselves and take up space within their family. One of the themes of this is how we can show up in our biological families, in our full queerness. I know in my family, every time one of my straight male cousins gets a girlfriend, it is the topic of the entire family, right? Everybody wants to, oh my God, it's so beautiful, he getting some pussy, blah, 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 blah. But if I am dating someone, it's not a conversation that we have. It's like hush. So I would like to, encourage us to be able to, share what's going on in our lives, because our straight family members do it all the time.
Do y'all? Ooh. So I'm glad that you brought that up. And we're gonna be closing soon, but this has been a great conversation. Make sure that y'all are liking, make sure y'all commenting, make sure y'all are subscribing, all of the things. Make sure that y'all are joining the conversation. All right. We don't want this to be just a one-sided conversation with us, but we want to include you all in the conversation. Something that you just brought up is the reaction to family members. You dating versus your straight cousin dating. And this is for everybody, because this is for me. Even what got you over that hump where you like, I know my people really, and when I say my people, it's not all my people, but we're gonna specifically talk about the people who don't. I know that these people don't really fuck with what I got going on, but I'm still gonna let them know that I'm dating this person, that we're doing X, Y, and Z. How did you get over that hump?
For me, so when I turned 18, I had moved out of my mom's house. She and I had a rough patch with the sexuality, with the disrespect, the talking back, so on and so forth. A year after that, I had ended up in a relationship with my long-term partner, and my family, they were more accepting of him, because I had already had another guy that I was dealing with at the time, and they kind of knew of him. But when Lenny stepped into the picture and he made his presence be known that if Twon wants to be here, I'm going to be here, the family kind of fell in line with, okay, he's not that bad of a guy. He's not putting Twon in these spaces to where it's putting Antoine in harm's way or anything like that. He actually was genuinely here for me. Now, when a year later, once me and my mother resolved our issue, she wasn't immediately welcoming to the fact of me actually dating a man. Okay. And it took almost a whole year, even to one particular day at grandma's house, where she was doing it was a crab feast or whatever we did at grandma's house, and my mom was there. But when she heard that Antoine had his partner here, she flipped her wig pretty much, like, you're not going to force me to meet anybody I'm not ready to meet. I'm not for that. Y'all are supporting that nonsense, da 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 da. But throughout the course of like a couple months past that, ironic enough, they became so close. Like it was the craziest thing. In the beginning, it was so rocky for her to meet him and even accept the fact that I was dating a male. To down the line, she was calling him son. She was over with his family. She was doing all the things that family dynamics should be in general. But she had to get through whatever trauma or the things that she went through growing up with her and my two uncles and their past traumas in order to be able to accept me and what I was bringing forth with my lifestyle. And it's not always easy to do that. And now, in those spaces, I think certain parents deal with thinking that they're going to be embarrassed or ashamed or what their other family members are going to think about. Oh, her son over there being gay. Oh, we don't do that over here, but over there, that's the gay house. Yeah. So it's a journey, and it's not always going to be an easy one when it comes to being authentically and then trying to bring people around. Now today, I don't just bring anybody around my family. I don't mention anybody to my family because unless you're actually invested time within me and what I got going on, meeting my family is something that you have to build to get to. You can't just meet them just to say that because we're hunching and we spend a lot of time together. So
okay, that's fair. Anybody else? That was good. Okay.
You don't bring up, you don't introduce somebody to the family, Anthony.
No, I just don't go home. No. Because I just don't desire to convince people to meet or put someone in an uncomfortable situation.
Mm-hmm.
When you meet in my family, you meet my best friends. You're meeting, the people who are in my home or who I'm living life with. I don't really have a desire. I might go home once a year. I'm that cousin. You don't know what's going on.
You're kind of like me. Like if I'm dating somebody, they'll meet my friend. Like once again, you gotta. It's like sometimes my friends will be like, "Oh, you don't introduce us to whoever you're talking." I said, "No, I gotta make sure that I'm not the type of girl who wants to bring somebody around, and then 2 weeks later it's a new boy around, and they're like, wait, I thought she was talking about that, But if I bring you around, like I'll bring people around my good close friends, my chosen family, but some of my family, and specifically to my parents' house, my dad's house, and my stepmom's house, I'm not bringing nobody over there for real. And it's not because I'm ashamed of the person. It's more so I personally don't want to put. And you could say that you're welcoming. Oh, you can bring them here. But if I know in the secrets of the midnight, you're on your knees praying that the Lord take this gay taste away from my mouth. I don't want to. I don't want to bring anybody into that into that environment. You feel me? So my thing is, it's not protection of me. It's more so protection of whoever I'm with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in that space, I think when I brought my partner around, he was confident in just who he was. So despite what was happening and how aggressive or passionate my mom was to not be willing to meet him, it didn't deter him from me or the family. He just was comfortable in who he was as a man first to be able to say, "Oh, baby, you at some point you'll get over it and you'll love me." And lo and behold, she did. So
I love that.
And that's what I love about you, Antoine. You're a trailblazer, right? Somebody has to want to change the energy in the family.
And you got no choice to love me. So.
That's right.
And if you don't, you will.
So in Soul Food, right? The whole entire story was centered around Big Mama. Who this is another conversation for another time, but Big Mama was the reason for all them problems in that family. Okay. In Gay Soul Food, is there a matriarch? Is there a patriarch? Is there somebody who the story centers around?
So it's funny you talk about Big Mama being the cause of all the problems, because so many of the things that you've been hinting at are integrated into this story. And we also talk about different generations of Big Mama, right? The Big Mama of yesteryear is not the Big Mama that we have now, being the grandmother to grandchildren.
Do we have a Big Mama now? Because Big Mama now listens to Sexy Red because she 40.
Big Mama is a city girl. Big Mama
for sure. Big Mama used to gamble used to go to the boat to gamble. Now Big Mama on the boat on the front of it with Don Julio over her head.
Take me through there.
Take me through there.
Big Mama was that Freaknik. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But so there is a Big Mama in this storyline.
So there is a Big Mama, as in the mother's mother, yes, and then Gina plays the mother's grandmother is Big Mama, because that's the older generation, and then the new generation of grandmother, Gina plays Gigi. You want to talk a little bit about that, Gigi?
I just don't know what I can say, what I can't say. Yeah, I mean, Gigi's in there, right? I am a granny of sorts, but I think probably that a slightly sassy granny. And I don't know if I listened to, is it Big Red that you said, or is that Gum?
Sexy Red.
Sexy Red. Okay. See,
Big Red is gum.
Big Red is Gum. Right. So this particular Gigi's a little, yeah, but I'm super cool. I think that's the thing. I think I'm super cool.
Okay.
But
yeah, yeah. Gigi's character definitely is the once she gets through the things that she gets through, she is the fun loving grandmother that that most would want, for instance. But Gina does a great job telling the story from what has happened back in the day to what she's gone through to what's present. So that's why when Gina plays Gigi.
Gigi represents those family members that we don't know, but we only hear stories about, right? The family. And I guess we can say this. Gigi is very like drag queen coded. She's a woman who was like raised in the drag queen community rather than actually in her biological family. So hearing this grandmother speak of all this like gay lingo is often a source of comedy throughout this whole show, especially to this gay family where there's lesbians and bisexuals and gays and all that good stuff.
Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited to see this play. Last question, okay? What stereotype about Black LGBTQ people does this play quietly or loudly challenge?
Well, I think the first one is the bisexuals. I love that, we had this conversation on here. I think what we did when Boys Exhale, I had 3 different bisexual cast and crew members who was like, we're not representing this. Like, where's the bisexual perspective? So doing Gay Soul Food, I really wanted to like create a love letter to the bisexual experience, because oftentimes when we do tell these LGBT stories, they aren't bisexual. We'll get the lesbian, we'll get the gay, we'll get the trans, but we will leave out the bisexuals. And
it's just real.
Yes, so I definitely wanted to make sure that it is a representation of them that's like that is loving, that is human. And I feel like the family in this story is like it's a symbolism for the whole LGBT community, right? Even though in this biological family, there's lesbian, gays, bisexuals, it is all of us in a community, but as a family.
Okay.
That's it.
You ate that.
Did.
Okay, so talk to us. When is the play? Where is the play? Where can the people see the play? Let's get the people. Let's pack out this theater.
Oh, can I do it, Anthony? Can I do it?
Do you know where everything is?
Definition. I'm gonna add this. Go ahead, Anthony.
All right, so the play is going to be on August 14th and 15th at the Definition Theater in Hyde Park.
That's right up the street for me, okay? I can walk.
Perfect. We have a 7 p.m. show on Friday. There's a matinee at 3 and at 7 on Saturday. You can get your tickets on Eventbrite. If you Google Gay Soul Food Chicago, it should be one of the first things come up. When you go to our Eventbrite page, you can catch our brand new trailer for the show. We have some clips from our YouTube of like the first version of the show that we did in DC. We have some reviews, we have some interviews. So if you want to learn anything else about Gay Soul Food, go to our Eventbrite, or if you go to www.cagebirdsproductions.com, you can join our newsletter to be updated on our upcoming shows, because next year we're coming to Chicago with our next show, which will be The Gay Best Man.
Ooh, The Gay Best Man. That sounds fun. That's one of my favorite movies is The Best Man. Okay, so August 14th to 15th. we, the Black Agenda, we're going to be in the house for the show. If not for both shows, one of the shows, just stay locked in with us. If you guys look in the episode description, I'm going to actually put the Eventbrite link so you can get your tickets right there. We're going to be in the house. We want to see y'all's beautiful faces out there. And I personally am super excited for to watch this play and see what y'all bring. I want to thank y'all for stopping by today, having this conversation. We talk a lot more about just the play, a lot more than just the play. There we go. But we talked about some things that we really should be talking about in our community. And I hope that after the play, we can continue to have this conversation amongst us all. Let us know real quick where the people can find you.
Go ahead, Gina. I'll let ladies first again. Go ahead.
It's fine. At Gina Nicole Brown, GinaNicoleBrown, pretty much anywhere, but I mean, Instagram is fine. At Gina Nicole Brown.
Perfect. I like when the people keep their handles super simple.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, me on the other hand, it's
underscore letter number.
No, mine is very simple. On Instagram and TikTok is Sir Twon P, SirTwonP. Facebook Antoine Poe.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah, it ain't too bad.
Yeah, that's good.
And you can find me at Cage Birds Production. That is Cage Birds plural Productions on Instagram.
And real quick, why is it Cage Birds?
Cage Birds, because somebody else had Cage Bird, and that was what was available.
Well, I mean, the thought process in general, Cage Bird, like, where does that come from?
So when I started Cage Birds, it was a writing contest for young people in the juvenile system and alternative school system. So Cage Birds came from that. And then as we started doing like more live shows and things, I just kept the Cage Birds moniker because I felt like it encompasses what we're trying to do, right? Is to tell these stories from marginalized perspectives, right? Taking in and uncaging people's minds to these stories.
My God, today I love that. All right, and you all can find me at It's Micah B on all platforms, and you can find us at The Black Gay Agenda, however you want to say it. You can find us on all platforms as well. Once again, thank you all for stopping by. Thank you, the listener, for listening. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, all of those things. I got to do that. And we will see you next time on The Black Gay Agenda. This is a very special episode. Y'all are still going to get y'all's regular episode later in the week, so stay tuned for that. Remember, as always, grab your purses, clutch your pearls. This has been The Black Gay Agenda. We will see you next time. Peace.